Jack worked himself to death after 30 consecutive days of overtime, but the good news was that he was reincarnated into a new world. The bad news? He was reborn as a 5-year-old child. His new family was of noble descent, which sounded great at first, but as the 8th child in the family, he had no chance of inheriting the estate. In just one day, Jack experienced life's highs and lows like never before. On the day he died, Jack had just come home from work, cooked himself a meal, and before he could even taste it, he found himself in another world. At first, he thought he was dreaming, until a middle-aged man called out to him, telling him to greet everyone. One of his older brothers explained the situation. It was their eldest brother's wedding to a noblewoman. Seeing the extravagant wedding, Jack assumed his new family was wealthy, and started dreaming of a luxurious, carefree life. But reality hit hard the next morning when meals turned out to be stale bread and watery soup, and the grand mansion turned out to be a rundown house. The family, as it turned out, was actually a fallen noble house. Though they still had a noble title, it was in name only. Jack also discovered he didn't just have 2 older brothers. More and more siblings kept appearing, and eventually, he learned he was the youngest of 8. Their land was a tiny plot barely worth mentioning, and only the eldest son could inherit it. Since the eldest brother was now married, the rest of the adult siblings were promptly sent away to fend for themselves. As a 5-year-old, Jack could stay for now, but he knew he'd eventually be kicked out too. Watching his older brothers leave, Jack couldn't help but worry about his own future. Determined to prepare, he rummaged through the family's bookshelf for anything he could learn, and that's when he found a small crystal ball and a manual. The manual explained that the crystal ball could test magical ability. In this world, everyone had a faint amount of magic, but very few could control it to use spells. Being able to manipulate magic was a rare gift, and Jack decided to give it a try. He placed the crystal ball in front of him, followed the manual, and attempted to channel his magic into it. At first, nothing happened, and Jack was about to give up, when suddenly, the crystal ball lit up with a blinding light. At that same moment, deep in the forest, a grand mage sensed the surge of magic.